Morning, all. A few quick pointers about your essay today. Due by midnight today. Let's get our MLA format right. Quick, one more run through here. Getting us ready for college next fall. You're going to be writing papers using outside sources. Got to know how to use your resources to make sure your format is correct. We're writing an MLA format for this paper. Our good friend, the Purdue Owl, I've got up in front of me. My first scroll is down here. I'm going to pick my MLA format. If I were writing an APA, I pick APA. Click my MLA guide over here. One more click before I get to my style guide. I need to open up my style guide. I can either click over here on the style guide or right here in the middle I can click. Both clicks do the same thing. It opens up the table of contents over here so I can access my style guide. If you have forgotten what this MLA paper needs to look like, do I need a title page? Is this one I have a cover page? Just scroll down. Shows you here, that's what MLA looks like. Let's take a look at InText Citation quick. So I'm going to go to MLA, InText Citation, the basics. I'm wondering, gosh, what do I put in my parentheses? Page number? Do I abbreviate that P period? Do I put punctuation in my parentheses at the end? I just like to scroll down to the examples, you guys. And right here, I see my options. I can either put the author in my signal phrase, the page number in parentheses here at the end, or I can put my author and page number in parentheses all at the end. Notice there is no punctuation in between author and page number. Notice there's no P abbreviated between author and page number. This is true whether it's a direct quote or a paraphrase. I still need to include my page number for a paraphrase. We have talked about with literary analysis, if you're writing about only one piece of literature, you don't need to include the author every time. We're all writing about more than one piece of literature, so we will include the author every time, either in the signal phrase or in the in-text citation. Speaking of signal phrases, make sure you have a signal phrase. I've had a few writers forget that little piece and they'll write their direct quote standing all by itself as a sentence all on its own. A direct quote cannot stand on its own as a sentence by itself. All direct quotes must be attached to a signal phrase. Your signal phrase might name the author. Wordsworth stated that. Or in our case, writing about literature, it's probably going to include the character. Satrapi says, the narrator makes clear. We don't know the name of the narrator in Deportation at Breakfast. So if you're writing about deportation, you're just going to refer to that character as the narrator says. You do need to have your words attached to your direct quote every single time in both MLA and APA format. You do have to attach the direct quote to your own words. In-text citation. Good. All right, let's write the works cited page. We're ready to write the works cited page. Let's go find our format guidelines. We are all using books for this one. You're all using Persepolis, that's a book. We're using our textbook, or if you use a printed copy that I gave you, that came from a book. So I'm going to scroll to works cited page, books. Persepolis is just a basic book. So you're going to follow this format guideline for Persepolis. It's a pretty short citation here. When you get to the works cited entry for your second your second piece of literature or your third, that one comes out of an anthology. An anthology is a textbook or a book that has many different pieces of literature, many different articles by many different writers. We are using a work in an anthology. If we were just citing something the editor wrote, then we'd use this one. But we are using a work, a piece of literature in an anthology. And so you're going to use this format guideline. You've done this before. You start with the name of the author of the piece of literature. So Foundation Larry, if you're writing Deportation at Breakfast. Erdrich Luis, if you're writing about the Runaways. Title of the essay, in our case, that's going to be the title of the short story or title of the poem. And then you flip and start giving information about the book. What is the title of that textbook? So what does it say on the front of that textbook? Who are the editors? Publisher, year, page range that it was published. Notice how that page range is written down here on the example. We do put a PP in front of that page range. Good. Let me know if you have questions about this. 2 more pointers here. Avoid ending a paragraph with evidence. You don't want to end a paragraph with a direct quote. You need to end with your warrant or your concluding statement. So do be sure that you end your paragraph with your concluding statement rather than evidence. And also make, Mr. Ressler showing me some softball uniforms. Also make sure that you punctuate your titles. Persepolis is a novel. Titles of novels get to be in italics. And the other piece is short story, poetry. That goes in quotation marks. And remember, the other piece that will get you duct taped to the wall is if you forget to put your punctuation inside your quotation mark, right? If you have a comma after your title with quotation marks around it, that comma goes inside the quotation mark. Happy writing. Let me know if you need some help today. Hope I didn't talk too long this morning. Have a good weekend.